In today's video, I'll be going over how to play Tracer in Overwatch. As someone who has about 2,000 hours on this game, with Tracer being my most played hero, I'd say that a video like this was coming eventually. A few notes before we get into the video. Firstly, the inspiration behind making this video goes to Kajor. He is one of the best educational channels out there on YouTube, so consider checking him out after this video, or with the link in the description. Secondly, I'll be shifting off of montages for more variety videos, such as gameplay and guide videos. Since the settings video has been doing great, I do want to touch on other characters that I have been using as well. Thirdly, the Mizuki Thoughts video is in the works while I'm making this one. For updates, be sure to join the Frostwatch Discord or check the community tab. Finally, if I missed anything, be sure to leave a comment on it, just in case I make an updated Tracer guide later on. Now, onto the video. Her primary weapon is her pulse pistols. These are short-range automatic pistols that have a base damage of 11.5, with the maximum damage fall off at 20 meters. Generally speaking, the most distance I recommend firing with these is at least 15 meters. You can do more damage for a potential 1 clip at that range compared to trying it at 20. Speaking of, you may have, or at least die to a Tracer 1 clip. If you take into consideration her bullet spread, you can actually aim at the enemy's neck, which still counts as critical damage. Something else to consider is trigger discipline. Most of the time when you're firing, you may miss a lot of your shots, or if you're on the flank, you may shoot too early and die because of it. To prevent that from happening, wait to have your crosshair center on your target, and if they have mobility or move out of your crosshair, just pause and recenter your crosshair on them again before firing. Her first ability is her blinks. You have 3 charges of them total, with each one going a distance of 7.5 meters, with each one having a 3-second cooldown. Your primary use of them is to set up in position, moving behind cover, engaging, and dodging incoming damage. One of the best things to do is learning blink spots. Knowing something like this is important, considering it allows you to surprise an enemy who has an angle over your team during a team fight. Since you want to manage as much damage uptime as possible without dying, you want to make sure you have good blink management. Basically, it's using a blink and at least waiting half a second before using another one. Another thing you can do is blink melees to finish off a low HP target. This is usually done by meleeing first and blinking at the same time. Her second ability is her recall. With recall, you go back in time from 3 seconds from your last position, getting lost health back and full ammo. Now, the main thing to consider when having recall is not using it for unnecessary causes. 90% of the time, Tracer players, including myself, use recall every time they land a pulse bomb. The only purpose it serves is to look stylish for clip farming moments. The main times you should use recall is if you're alone in a duel, to get back to your previous position, or escaping a bad situation. This can also be used after you force an important ability from an enemy you're fighting. The last thing to note when having recall is the ability allowing you to play more aggressively. When you push in, you should be playing enough until you're forced out into recalling back from where you last were. Her ultimate is her pulse bomb, a sticky explosion that's thrown by her, doing 5 contact damage if it sticks, and 350 damage after the explosion takes place. Now, there are many ults that synergize with it, but that video will be for another time. However, getting value out of your pulse bombs can go many ways. The best thing you can at least try doing is maximizing your pulse bomb percentage. Finding easy targets to pulse bomb, like arrows with low mobility, or using it on the tank, even though I really don't recommend landing in all of them. The second way is forcing enemy cooldowns and ultimates. Getting a good stick can force ults like Transcendence, and cooldowns like Suzu, Recall, Fade, Wraith Form, and so on. Going back to the topic of recall, be careful when landing a pulse on an enemy Tracer without one. If they're able to predict where you recall, they'll move to that location with you dying as well. As of the start of the season, a thing called Subroles were introduced for every character in the game roster. The subrole given to Tracer is Flanker, which gives her 75 health whenever she picks up a health pack. This is the best case scenario for her, considering a large percent of the time you'll be playing around health packs. Moving into the minor perks, your options are either Chrono Dash or Kinetic Reload. With Chrono Dash, your blink distance is increased by 20%, and with Kinetic Reload, you get 20 ammo back after a melee hit. With Chrono Dash, the blink distance goes from 7.5 meters to about 9.5. When it comes to picking which one to use, I mainly lead towards Chrono Dash. Both perks aren't bad here, so pick whichever one you're more comfortable with. For the major perks, your options are between Blink Packs, which was the minor perk before, and Quantum Entanglement. With Blink Packs, you restore 1 blink with every health pack you pick up. As a Quantum Entanglement, you get 50 over health that decays over time, plus 20 ammo after you recall. I really don't see the point in not picking Blink Packs, as it's relatively better than Quantum Entanglement. Sure, the overhealth plus 20 ammo may look good on paper, but the downside of it is using recall into a bad position, which will have you dead either way. Having more blank up time will be better for her, which allows you to go in and out of fights more often. When it comes to engaging, you have a few different rules applied to you. Firstly, if you're in a dive team, you're mainly looking for your tank, which is usually characters like Winston, Doomfist, and D.Va, to go in first before you follow up with them. This usually means finding your dive target, which is normally a support or another squishy, then letting them engage on them first, with you following up a bit later. If you aren't in a dive team, then you have a few jobs based on what the enemy team has. If the enemy team has someone on the flank trying to get to your backline, your role is to take care of them, or at least force them to go back to end their rush. This could be anyone like Tracer, Sombra, Genji, Onrun, etc. Your other job is to hunt the backline. If a tank or anyone is getting single or double pocketed, going after their supports will allow your team to put more pressure on the front line, which could lead to winning a team fight. But with that, that'll be it for the guide. If you learned something new, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if there's something I missed or another guide like this that you all want to see, make sure to leave a comment down below. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.